my place, and I am welcome.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity of York Region Sunday service. We're so pleased that you're here with us, or you're watching it later on Facebook. Today, we're so pleased to have our wonderful Jackie Clark with us, sharing about taste and see the Lord is good. Isn't that interesting? So we need to learn more about our desires for a deeper connection to God, but it's only when we taste the experience and really have that taste for ourselves, that with our divine connection, that we truly know the Lord is good. And so Jackie today is going to explore ways today in which we can deepen our connection with the divinity in us all. Jackie is the wife and mother of 4 children and 2 dogs. She's walked into the doors of Unity, a church of Mississauga, 15 years ago when I was the minister there, and felt that this was a home for her heart. She became a prayer chaplain, and a few years later became a prayer chaplain trainer. And now she speaks and she teaches and she prays, and she's a marriage celebrant and an eternal optimist. Let's start with music.
All in
let's turn within and invoke that presence within us. Feel that presence in us. Holy, holy, all good. We feel that infinite peace in us. Knowing that we have that divine wisdom always within us. And we call it forth today as we join together with others to celebrate that presence in us, that knowing that there is only one power and one presence, and that it is everywhere present. And that is all we are. Pure energy, the pure energy of love. And so as we come together, we honor all the other spiritual groups meeting today and throughout the week here in York region and throughout the world. For we know there are many names for God, many faces for God, many ways to celebrate God, but there is only one. Knowing this, we relax and let go and let God be God in us. And so it is. Amen. Unity of York Region is part of the Unity Worldwide movement. And so many other Unity churches hold this same vision so that we all have a laser-like vision together, which just brings so much more power. And so that vision is, as you see in front of you, a world powerfully transformed by that one power and one presence. Transformed through the growing movement. And every day we are growing of shared spiritual awakening to the truth of who we are, divine beings. And so what is ours to do here at Unity of York Region? It is to be a vibrant, thriving spiritual community that serves the world by embodying unity principles of higher consciousness. And embodying means to take them into our whole being, to live them, to know that we are these principles of love and strength and inner power. So to bring that all together, let's affirm together. God is, I am, we are together transforming the world. Today's daily word is kindness, and it's going to be read by Diane from Barrie.
Good morning, everyone. Today's Sunday, November 15, 2020. Kindness. I'll start with the affirmation, and I would like to end with the affirmation as well, just so you know. I flow with divine love as I give and receive kindness. The word kindness triggers feelings of warmth, connection, and love in my heart. I smile as I recall ways that friends, family members, and others have shown me kindness. I feel again the gratitude and blessing I experienced in those moments. Gratitude, love, and a beautiful awareness of connection fill my heart and mind in a remarkably similar way when I remember kindnesses I've shared. The movement of electrons through a wire creates a current, a flow. As kindness moves from person to person, it creates a flow of divine love. Both giving and receiving are essential to this current of love. So I look for opportunities to share acts of kindness. I welcome with a grateful heart the kindnesses others share with me. And from Micah 6:8, what does the Lord require of you but to do justice and to love kindness and to walk humbly with your God? And again, the affirmation, and if any of you would like to say it with me, I flow with divine love as I give and receive kindness. Thank you.
Thank you, Diane. That was wonderful. I love that idea of kindness. So we have all of Unity Canada has a prayer program. And so every month we pray for one or two ministries across Canada. And so during the month of November, we are all praying for Unity Church of Agape in Scarborough, Ontario. So let us just affirm prosperity, peace, and harmony for them as they celebrate their oneness with God. Unity of York Region has prayer chaplain program. And so if you would like one-on-one prayer with any of the chaplains, just either email us or phone and leave a message, and one of us will get back to you. If you want immediate prayer, you can call Silent Unity down in Missouri, 1-800-NOW-PRAY. Now let's listen to Faith Rivera.
I close my eyes, I open my heart, I take a deep breath, let the healing start. I lift my hands, I plant my feet, I let love in, I feel the beat that's calling us to rise, rise, Spirit rise up, rise in me. I let in my soul, I clear my mind, I'm here and now, in present time. I feel the power of 1,000 suns, lighting up the dark. Oh, we rise as one. Oh, rise, rise, Spirit rise up, rise in me. Oh, rise, rise, Spirit rise up, rise in me, rise in me. I sing to you, I sing to you, you sing to me, you sing to me. Change up this noise, make sweet harmony. Come on and rise, oh rise, Spirit rise up, rise love's calling. That's why we came. Love's calling, calling out the name. Love's calling. It's why we came. Come on and rise, rise, spirit rise up, rise with me, rise. Come on and rise, oh spirit rise up, rise in me, rise up, rise up, rise up, rise up. Come on and rise up. Come on, lift your hands up, jump, reach for the sky, go up high, higher, yeah. Rise up. Come on, raise your voice and shout. Love is alive, we're bringing the light brighter, brighter. Rise up. Come on, lift your hands up, jump, reach for the sky, go up high, higher, yeah. Rise up. Come on, raise your voice and shout. Love is alive, we're bringing the light brighter, brighter. Rise up. Come on and rise up.
Weren't those beautiful pictures? Wow. Oops. So we're having announcements. This week is the second to last week for Brene Brown's, the study of Brene Brown's book, Daring Greatly. And I encourage you to oh, it is, wait a minute, it's the conclusion. It's the last one, because next week it's going to be starting the Advent classes. And Debbie Long will be teaching us about the Advent and intertwined with the 4 agreements, which is really going to be an interesting book study. So I invite you to come. There will be a link sent out early, but this will be Thursday night, and it will be for the 4 next Thursdays. Can you believe it's Advent coming already? Oh my goodness. And next week will be Carolyn Kingston speaking to us about heaven or hell. Do you want to be separated or connected? The choice is yours. Which way do you want to go? In January, I'll be teaching Eye of the Storm, and it's going to be for 6 Thursdays. It'll go until it's going to start. This is interesting. Doesn't say when it's starting, but it's starting on January the 8th. So if you want to take this, just email me to register and I'll send you the Zoom link. The book is available on Amazon or just Google it. And so this is about being the eye. You know, in a hurricane, how in the eye of the storm, it's peaceful, that there's no, you don't feel the winds are swirling all around you, but you are at peace. And so it's learning how to be that peace in the midst of chaos using unity principles. It's going to be a fun course. So you can see in here at York Region, it's going to be starting at 7:30. And we'll have more information later. But now is the time to register. Let's now listen to God Is by Karen Drucker. And then Jackie will be taking over.
God is life and I am life. God is life and I am life.
Whoops, I forgot it was a video. Sorry about that. I shouldn't have been pushing any buttons. Just a minute, I'm going to mute myself before I do this.
God is life and I am life. God is life and I am life. God is light and I am light. God is light and I am light. God is joy and I am joy. God is joy and I am joy. God is love and I am love. God is love and I am love. God is peace and I am peace. God is peace and I am peace. God is beauty and I am beauty. God is beauty and I am beauty. God is power and I am power. God is power and I am power. God is good, yes, God is good. God is good, yes, God is all these things. God is all these things. I am all these things. God is all these things. I am all these things. God is all these things. I am all these things. God is all these things. I am. God is good.
Take it away, Jackie.
All right, can everybody see me okay? I take that as a yes. I don't see myself, so I'll just start talking and I'll share my screen in just a minute. Well, good morning, all of you beautiful Unity people out there. How are you all doing today? It is so good to come together and to share with you the love of God. It's great how we can come together as a spiritual community and fill up our spiritual cup. It's great to come together and feel the spiritual nourishment that can only come when the group of us comes together in Holy Communion with God. Don't you think that by coming together as a group, we fuel the fire of love within us, that by coming together as a group, the group energy lifts us, sustains us, and carries us forward into the week, so filled with love that we can share that love with the world. There's my big love to you all today, a big virtual hug. So spiritual nourishment is something that we sometimes forget about. As human beings, we require body, mind, and spirit to fill us up. And we, on a physical note, we do fill ourselves up by eating right, sleeping right, resting right, and that's good. And then we also take care of our emotional being by doing good work in the world, by volunteering, by filling up and having a great family life or having good friends. We are loved and we are cared for by our family, and that fills up our emotional cup. But coming to church is a great way to fill up our spiritual cup. Our nourishment is filled. Yes, you can do that through private work in your own meditative practice, through praying, through setting the intention at the beginning of the day that the work that you do is connected with God and that you work in co-creation with God. But nothing beats that wonderful camaraderie that comes when we share and we give together. It's kind of like when you go to McDonald's and you get that French fries package and it's in the red box and all the French fries are all stuck together and they're hot, right? Kind of like us at church. We're all like French fries in our container, nice and warm and filled up with spiritual love. And then when we leave the box, when we leave the church, we start to get cold, right? And a little bit hard, right? And life has a way of beating that out of us sometimes. So let me ask you this. Do you have a cup of coffee next to you? Or a tea, perhaps? There's my coffee cup. And I just invite you now to take a minute and to raise your cup, if you have one, and look at it. Just take a second to really notice the one that you chose today. And see the sides of it, see how it's made, see the design on it and the words that are printed. And just think for a moment how this cup your cup did not exist a while ago. It was not around. In fact, it was just a spark out there in the universe. And it started out as really an idea in mind, didn't it? Your cup was just a thought out there. And then it became an idea. Ooh, wouldn't it be great if there was something to put my beverage into that was attractive and functional? That's how life is created. There's a thought, an idea, and then it is made. It is formed into full manifestation. The cup is a great reminder of thought, idea, and manifestation. Also, too, look at your cup and notice the shape of it. Notice how the sides start up high, go down, go across the bottom, and then come back up with a little handle on the side, perhaps. Your cup is, now consider this, your cup, the shape of it is like the journey of your life. You start out in life, bipping along, everything's going just fine. And then all of a sudden something happens. You lose your job, you get sick, right? Your friend betrays you, and you start to dip and you feel bad and you feel that God has let you down, right? And so you take this mental and emotional dip. And then you go through the valley. So there's the bottom of the cup representing the going through the valley, going through the darkness and the hard times, feeling the emotions of resentment, anger, fear, doubt, whatever it is that you're going through. It is what you are experiencing as a human being, and it's perfectly normal. We need to feel these things first, because then when we see them and reveal them, then we can heal them. And then as we start to heal our mind and our body and turn into the awareness of God, things start to shift and you get a new job, or your friend apologizes to you, or you start feeling better because the prayers from your friends have been working, the medicine has been working, whatever it is, and your morale starts to rise up again. In fact, it even gets even better, right? I think the handle is sort of indicative of how our lives flourish after the hard times. We never stay in the hard times. We move through it. Remember that. On to my PowerPoint now. I know you've all been, yes, PowerPoint. Share. Look at me go. Okay, from beginning. There I am. Can everybody see it okay? Good. What 2020 has taught us is that life can be difficult, right? And we can become bitter and angry and hurt and feeling like life just chews us up, and God has forgotten about us. Life can be difficult, folks. Absolutely. We weren't in it for all the lollipops and sunshine and rainbows. Sometimes bad stuff happens and you get betrayed because, you know, you've given your efforts to your friend and then they let you down. It just didn't go, things just didn't go the way you thought them would. Difficult times could mean that you've poured time and energy into your job only to be overlooked for a promotion or a raise. Bad times do happen, folks, but they don't last forever. The trouble is that a lot of people tend to hold their anger, hold their bitterness towards another person and they don't soften their hearts. They become sort of resentful and angry. And it's as if they put a protective shield around their hearts to prevent any opportunity or any new kind of possibility to show up for them. And granted, life does show us those things in life, that there are difficult times, but we can rise up, we can do better. And I know there are times when you have lost somebody and it's difficult. And you think to yourself, why? Why would I stick my neck out for anyone or anything ever again? Tough times sometimes mean that you harden your heart, but it doesn't necessarily have to be that way, right? I was sitting in a mountainside cafe a while back, having a coffee one morning in a coffee shop, and there was a gentleman sitting next to me. And as I am prone to do, I started up a conversation with him, and he proceeded to tell me his life story. His name was Al, and he was an artist living in Australia, and he was a good artist. In fact, he got a very good income from doing his work. He told me he was married happily and life was good. Down the street from him, in a little house, lived a little family, a husband and a wife and a little girl named Sarah, who was 6 years old. Now, everything seemed to be going very well for Al. However, life took a bad turn when all of a sudden his wife died, leaving Al grief-struck, angry, hurt, resentful. How could God do such a thing to him like this? And he closed himself up in his house. He didn't do his artwork. He hardened his heart, and he would not open up to the world. It was on one of those days where life was really dark for him that he heard the familiar step, step, step. Sarah's feet stepping up onto the porch, coming for a visit. Now, let me just preface this to say that Sarah was coming over from time to time visiting. She had permission from her parents to do so. And at that moment that Al heard the step, step, step of Sarah's feet, he thought to himself, oh no, he says, I don't really want to go for a walk with her today. I know she's going to want to come for a walk, but I don't want to. I hope maybe she'll just go away if I don't answer that doorbell. Well, ring, ring, ring went the doorbell. And he paused and he waited, hoping that she would just turn and walk away. She didn't. She kept it up. She persisted. Ring, ring, ring. Knock, knock, knock. Al, are you in there? It's me, Sarah. Well, he had no choice. He got up very slowly from his chair, walked over to the door, opened it just a crack, and looked down into the face of Sarah, wide-eyed with wonder. Oh, Sarah, he said, I'm not up for a walk today. And she responded, oh, but I have a surprise for us today on our walk. A surprise, said Al. What do you mean by a surprise? She said, well, we're going on a wonder walk today. And Al, in his curiosity, said, what do you mean, Sarah? What's a wonder walk? And Sarah's reply was, that's where we go for a walk and we wonder about things. She was 6 years old. This 6-year-old love, curiosity, her heart started to melt Al's heart with kindness and tenderness. And that day, Al began to heal. Oh, the curiosity and the wonder of a child. At that moment, that little girl caused a shift in Al's heart. And he was seen and he was heard, and life was going to be okay. Jesus said, be ye like a little child. Be ye like little children. Now so it means to be childlike, not necessarily childish, right? There's a difference here. To be childlike, right, is to be open, be full of awe and wonder, and notice the things that are around you. Notice the sensations around you. And by doing that, you stay in the present moment, kind of like the eye of the storm, right? When you are living in childlike wonder, there's a creativity that bubbles up within you. There's a trusting confidence that just shows up naturally because you know that God's got your back. God's in charge. God's going to look after you no matter what happens. The alternative is to be childish. And in this childish manner, as you can see, the arms are folded. There's a little scrunch up in her forehead. There's a refusal. There's a blocking out of the world. Childish means wanting to be right? Childish means stamping the foot, posturing. It means no, nothing's going to happen now. That's the difference between being childish and childlike. In the Old Testament, in the book of Exodus, the Pharaoh had hardened his heart. Moses approached him and asked him to free the slaves. And Pharaoh said no. Even after Moses's repeated attempts, Pharaoh's heart was still hardened and would not give in to any request to free the slaves. Even after all of God's curses and famines and frogs, Pharaoh would not change his mind. He was resistant to any kind of change. Well, he finally did change his mind. And as we know in the story, that he did let them go. And we thought, this is a good thing. But then, as we know in the story, he changed his mind and he sent his army out after the Israelites to bring them back. Unfortunately, his army perished in the Red Sea as the waters receded and the Israelites walked free into the land of Canaan. The army died. The army was drowned. Jesus invites us to be childlike, to take time to connect with the world outside of our comfort zone and wonder. Because when we do that, we open up to a whole new possibility of awe and wonder and potentiality. When children are absorbed in the moment, they are confident, they are curious. Children run, they fall, they get back up again. They rinse and repeat. They have this primal sense of awe and wonder, which leads to a world of new possibilities, right? And new ways of doing things. I believe that this is what this time is teaching us right now. And so let's just really be honest here. What you focus on, you will find, right? If you believe that life is hard and people are miserable, you will see that more in your life. And if you believe that life is good and people are kind and friendly and knowledgeable, you will experience that in your life. I believe that God has something better for all of us right now. As Socrates has said, wisdom begins in wonder. And he's right, isn't he? Now, this painting actually was painted by a girlfriend of mine who had to spend some time in isolation this past summer. And she discovered that if she went to the dollar store, or someone brought her some paints actually, that she could paint. And she spent her time painting and discovering this whole new world of possibilities and traits that she never knew she even had in her. There's a plumeria tree that sits out on my deck all summer. It does very well out there. However, when a gust of wind blows a certain way, it falls down, leaving me to pick it back up. But if I'm not there at the time to pick it up, it just lays there. It doesn't cry, it doesn't complain, it doesn't say how hard its life is. It just continues to grow horizontally until I discover it, and then I put it right back up. And you can see I kind of moved it into a different place so that it wouldn't happen again. But as it turned out, it fell down again. That darn tree. And I could have complained and worried about it, but then I had this bright idea. Why don't I just put a brick on it? Then it'll stay up. Success, right? And it was so funny, you know, when I brought that tree back up for the second time and put the brick on it, there was a song that came into my head. And it was that song way back, I think it was in the 70s. It was from this group called Chumbawamba. And it goes, I get knocked down, but I get up again, and you're never going to see me down. You know, you've heard that one, right? It's on the radio. They call it tub thumping. So I thought of that darn tree and our situation in life right now. And I think this song has now become sort of a theme song for 2020. And in fact, if you change the word just a little, you can say, I get locked down, but I get out again. You're never going to see me down. There's a few other nice theme songs for 2020. So the psalmist says, taste and see that the Lord is good. What it really means is that it's more than just the act of putting food in your mouth and sensing flavors, right? That the psalmist, in his wisdom, says or invites you to go beyond just the spiritual, not just the taste sensation, and experience life at its fullest, developing a closer connection to God. I believe actually that the psalmist used the word taste to describe the indescribable joy in a life of communion with God. In fact, there's another version in the Bible, and it reads instead, "Oh, taste and see the goodness of God." The goodness of God. So here now is an invitation to the fullness of life with God, right? To step up and be all that you can be. Taste really means full engagement of all the senses, right? Opening up to those 6 senses that we have as human beings: feeling, tasting, hearing, touching, and our still small voice within, because that too is a part of us. And we do that by staying centered and staying in this now moment, right? Taste means a belief that there's something going on that's even bigger than we could ever really imagine, right? That there's this ether, there's this power, there's this grandeur that we will probably never totally understand, and that's okay, so long as I'm a part of that, right? Taste can also mean our connections with the divine, through experiencing it through people, places, and events. You can experience God through another person, by traveling to a new place, by spending time on a park bench. You can develop taste by having events in your life and just seeing how God shows up as you are more open and receptive to the possibilities. God shows up everywhere when we open up our spiritual senses, and God is close and as near as your own breath. Taste and see that the Lord is good. Jesus invites us to leave behind all of the reasons for folding our arms over our chests and instead opening our arms wide to receive all the good that the universe has to offer. Jesus invites us to leave behind all of the excuses to be bitter and jaded because life has dealt you a bad hand. And despite the hardships in life, Jesus invites us to try again, to cast away the anger, the fear, and the doubt, and open up to the excitement of trying something new. Because you might just find out that you're really good at it, and you can have some fun with it too. So let's be honest, right? What you look for, you will find. If you believe that life is hard and people are mean, you will experience that. But I offer this up to you as an invitation. Why not see the world as a child with a wide-eyed sense of wonder, trusting that everything you need comes to you. Everything that you need to know is revealed to you in this right and perfect time, and that there are friendly, helpful, knowledgeable people all along the way to love and support you. And I guarantee that as you start to come out of your box, that you will see that you have new traits that you never knew of before, and you become successful. Taste and see a world of wonder and delight. And my wish for you, everyone, on this day is that your heart starts to soften a little bit more as you open to more compassion and love and understanding. And just like Sarah and Jesus, may you be more open to wonder and awe. May you be open to all the riches of your senses and be moved to respond in childlike wonder. And may your cup, your spiritual cup, always be full of spiritual nourishment that comes when you tune in and tap into God. Thank you very much.
When my mind becomes still, there's a place that I go. When my mind becomes still, there's a place that I go. And there's love, yes, there's love. So much love flows through me when my mind becomes still. I feel thee. When my heart opens up, there's a place that I go. When my heart opens up, there's a place that I go. And there's love, yes, there's love. So much love flows through me when my heart opens up. I feel thee. When my mind becomes still, there's a place that I go. When my mind becomes still, there's a place that I go. And there's love, yes, there's love. So much love flows through me when my mind becomes still. Yes, there's love, so much love flows through me when my heart opens up. I feel I feel I feel when my mind becomes still, I feel
And now I invite you to join with me in consciousness as we come together in holy communion with God. Taking a big breath in and letting it go. Closing our outer eyes and tuning into the divine presence within our very own heart center. Feeling the grace and joy as we breathe in a second deep cleansing breath in and letting it go with an easy breath out. And allowing for a third deep breath in, connecting our hearts and our minds together with God mind. Releasing all pressures, troubles, worries of this now moment, and just bask in this now moment of God. And in this place, this sacred space, we know we are on holy ground. Our feet are deeply connected to the ground, and we feel a lightness in our hearts. We feel a deep, abiding love as we tune in and tap into the power and the presence of God. And we know and affirm that God reigns in our lives right here and right now. That there is only good that comes when we let go and let God move in through our lives. And we trust in the all-providing abundance of God's infinite supply. Breathing into your sacred heart space right now, I invite you to just take a moment and think about a time when someone did something really nice for you. And they didn't expect anything in return. They just did it because they loved you. And hold that thought, hold that feeling of unconditional love. Breathing in, feeling your heart soften as you remember. And giving thanks for this memory. I now invite you to think about a place on your body that you haven't thought of for a while that has served you very well. And it could be just as simple as your lungs breathing in and out, or your feet that help you to walk. Whatever it is, just tune into that place of your body, recognizing and noticing and experiencing that grace. Giving thanks for that part of your body, your digestion, your throat. Breathing in, breathing out. And lastly, I invite you to turn your thoughts now to a family member who you may have overlooked lately. And remember a time when that family member went out of their way for you and put in time and energy and love to care and nurture for you. It could be your mother, your father, grandparent, whoever it was that cared for you. Hold them in your heart right now, giving thanks to them for supporting you on your journey. Now take another breath in and then out. Feeling your chest rise and expand, giving thanks and gratitude for all the good that is occurring, that has occurred in your life, and all the good that is occurring in your life now. Feeling your heart expand out to the entire world, sending love and gratitude to all people everywhere, dissolving any sense of fear or lack. God is peace, and I am peace. God is love, I am love. God is wise, I am wise. And so we release this time and this place to the power of the universe, giving thanks that this is good because this is God. And when you're ready, open your eyes and come back to this room. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jackie. I just loved all your little visions. Oh, yes, your little heart. Yes, that is indeed it. Well, you must have spent hours creating those little Lego scenes. I'm just joking. I know that. Anyway, we're so grateful that you're here and sharing this tasting. I just could taste that strawberry, that picture of the strawberry. Yes, you need to taste it to actually experience it, to experience that divinity in us. Yes. So now it's time for our love offering. And of course, Unity of Barrie, like every other Unity church, is self-supporting ministry, 100% funded by generous love offerings from our community. And so we encourage you to support your spiritual community. It's not ours, it's everybody's. And there's various ways to do it, to e-transfer, to give online, or to mail a check, whichever way works for you. Let's say our offering together, shall we? Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. God is my source. Thank you, God.
My gift goes forth on the wings of love, and it lands where it can heal and bless. It returns to me, multiplied 1,000-fold, as the universe says yes, yes, as the universe says yes.
And now let's affirm our prayer for protection. Together, the light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And now let's join former Sky St. John at Unity of Hawaii as he leads us in the peace song.
And let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
We are now surrounded and enfolded by the pure white light of Spirit. Nothing but good shall come to us, and only good shall go from us. Go forth in peace, radiant love, and overwhelming joy. Amen.